Hi everybody, this is Mary O'Dwyer with Mary's Blue Door, and it is Wednesday. I'm sitting in my car. I've been running around all day and I wanted to pop on and do this right now because when I get home I'm going to have other things I need to get into and I didn't want to skip. And what I wanted to share is what I have been learning recently in a course I'm taking about expectations and what they do to us. And it's not just expectations of other people, it's expectations that we have of ourselves. And sometimes we're not even aware that these expectations are there or that we have a timeline attached to the expectation. So we may have an unspoken or unrecognized expectation that we can get a certain amount of things done in a day. And then the end of the day comes and we may feel frustrated with ourselves or beat ourselves up because we didn't achieve everything that we wanted to do. And that's because when we set out on our day, we had this expectation of this fantasy person, this fantasy version of ourselves that maybe doesn't need breaks, that maybe doesn't need to stop and go to the bathroom, that maybe doesn't need to stop and, eat lunch. And so this fantasy version of ourselves could achieve everything that was on our list. But that fantasy version of ourselves is not who we are today. And if we're not working with where we are right now, then we're working in kind of a fantasy land. And we're causing ourselves a lot of grief. Because when there's unmet expectations around ourselves, it can lead to a lot of self-judgment, self-beating up, negative head talk. And there really isn't a need for any of that if we can truly be honest about where we are right now and be okay with it. So for me, I'm a person who works really well in the morning. My brain is on, I can get a lot accomplished, I have lots of energy, and I enjoy working in the morning, even in the early afternoon, as long as it's something that's more routine. I don't like to do a lot of busy work that requires a lot of remembering different tasks. And then once the evening comes, after 8 o'clock at night, my brain just goes into shutdown mode. So there really is no point in me trying to do anything. Now, my fantasy version of myself is going to, creatively come up with blog ideas, flyers, creative ideas for Instagram posts. I'm going to troubleshoot all sorts of tech issues on Facebook and Instagram in those late, evening hours, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. But that's a fantasy version of me. That's not who I am today. And once I realized that and became okay with it, I just arranged my day. So I'm mostly done by 7 or 8 in the evening, and I don't put those types of tasks on my agenda late in the day. They are early in the morning tasks or early afternoon at the very latest. And so if you're like me and you've maybe had expectations that were based on this fantasy version of yourself, I'm going to teach you a really easy tool to let go of some of that and to help you be a little kinder and gentler to yourself. So it's super easy. I have learned it from my friend Jen Poulsen, who's an energy coach at Jen Poulsen Consulting. I've learned it from Danielle Gibbons at Beloved Communications. And I'm sure there's a lot of other people that teach this too. It's not, it's not new. But it might be new to you. It was new to me when I learned it a few months ago. And it's really just, I forgive myself and I love me. I forgive myself and I choose love. I'm going to forgive myself for having expectations I couldn't meet. I'm going to forgive myself for whatever mean things I said to myself. I'm going to forgive myself for putting too much stuff on my plate. And I'm going to choose love. Now, when you first start to do that, you maybe feel a little weird about it, or what's this doing? It feels hocus pocus. But your brain will know what to do with this information. And I like to, tap my little shoulder here because in my transformational breath work, we learned that this is where we hold on to lack of forgiveness of ourselves, is over here on our left shoulder. And you want to go kind of close to your neck because that's more current time. Just forgive yourself. Give yourself a little pat, you know. Forgive myself, and I choose love. So that's my message for today. Thank you for listening. Please share this if there's anybody in your life that you think would like to hear this. Oops, sorry, totally moved the camera. And I forgive myself, and I choose love. See, the fantasy version of myself always comes prepared with my tripod, always has the best lighting, has a schedule set where it's going to happen exactly at the same time every week. But, you know, I haven't grown into that person yet. So I forgive myself, and I choose love. Happy Wednesday, and hope to see you again soon. Bye.